Well, we were here on page 688. 688. Can you see that good? 688, right after the page we just did today in class. Okay, find that page. And if you're not there, you can pause it. Okay, and we're going to move a little closer. Okay, we're going to be doing this first one together because it requires some writing. They want us to do some writing. Okay, so let's read. Use the bar graph. Remember, these are bar graphs and these are bars. Describe how the amount of practice time changed from week 1 to week 4. So first, let's look at the bar graph and see what it's telling us. Yuji's drum practice. So Yuji must be a, I don't know, a boy or a girl who plays the drums, and he practices or she practices. And this is how many hours she practices each week. The first week, she practiced 1. Week 2, she practiced 2 hours. Week 3, she practiced 3 hours. And week 4, she did the most practice. She practiced 4 hours. What was the change? What was happening? What was the trend, we say, the trend? Each week, what was happening? She was practicing more and more. The amount of practice time, what's that word we use? Increased. It's hard to write on this line. They didn't leave us much room. Increased has an EA in it. Increase means to get bigger, right? Increased, ED, from week to increased from week to week. In fact, we could say the change was the same every week. It increased 1 hour every week. We could say it increased 1 hour every week if we wanted to be more specific to say exactly what happened. Okay? You can use bar graphs to show change, and that's what this bar graph does. It shows that it changed and got bigger and bigger each time, the amount of hours that Yuji was practicing the drums. Try this one by yourself. See if you can figure this one out by yourself. Now, of course, this is from the chapters we skipped, but you might be able to get it right yourself just by thinking about it. Okay, let's read. The string is about 10 centimeters long. This is the string. They say that's about 10. Circle the best estimate for the length of the feather. Don't get your rulers. Do not get your rulers for this. I should have told you beforehand. Do not use your rulers. When we're doing an estimate, we're supposed to think and try to figure out about the best answer. Okay, we want to know about how long that feather is. Now this is 10. How about if I went halfway in the middle? If this is 10, how much is this? If this is half, what's half of 10? What's in the middle of 10? Or what plus what makes 10? What plus what makes 10? Do you know? 5 and 5. So if this is 10, that means this is about 5 here. So we say this is about 5, right? If that's about 5, look at the feather. Is it bigger or smaller? It's bigger than 5. Is that bigger than 5? No, 2 would be over here. Is that bigger than 5? No, 3 would be about here. Which one's bigger than 5? 7 is bigger than 5. So this must be about 7. Because these are smaller than half. And this feather is more than half. You see that? The feather is more than half the string. And half of 10 is 5. 5 and 5 is 10. So the feather must be bigger than 5, and that's the only one bigger than 5. Can you do this one? Read this one. Make sure you read it first. Okay, to be able to do this one, you have to know what the coins are. You have to know what each one is worth. And of course, you have to know how to count, right? You have to know how to count that way. One other thing you have to know where to start. Do you remember when you're counting coins? You should start with the greatest value, the one that is worth the most. Which one is worth the most? This one. That's where you should start. And what is this? A quarter. What are these? These are little. These are dimes. We're going to start with a quarter. How much is the quarter worth? Yeah. If you started here, you can still do it, but it's harder. You should start here. It's easier. 25, right? Now you've got dimes, Jocelyn, Abigail, dimes. Dimes are worth how much? 10. So you have to count by tens, and you're already at 25. 25 has 2 tens. So if you add a dime, you're now going to have 3 tens. What are you going to have? 35. We're kind of doing it backwards, right? 35, 45, 55. 55 cents or 55 cents. You also could, what they should have done is they should have written it this way. $.55, because this is also 55 cents. Write it that way too, okay, to show me you're following the lesson and learning, okay? Don't just copy mine. You should be following the lesson and learning. Now, if you had started here, let's say you didn't start with the biggest, what happens? 10, 20, 30, but now you got to add 25. You got to add 30 and 25. That's hard to do. You have to write it out. Then you would get 55, but that's a little hard to do. That's why it's easier to start with the big one and then do the small one. Es más fácil empezar con el grande, Noé, y después los chiquitos. Okay, try this one by yourself. Go ahead, see if you can do that one by yourself. You have to read it. You have to think what it has. Okay, let's read. Rick has one $1 bill. So that's $1, right? We're going to save that for now. 2 dimes and 3 pennies. Is 2 dimes and 3 pennies hard? No, because dimes are like tens and pennies are like ones. What's 2 tens and 3 ones? 2 tens and 3 ones is 23, isn't it? Okay, you could also do 2 dimes, 10, 20, 3 pennies, 21, 22, 23. Now, how do we write this? That's our cents, so we're going to put the decimal point there. And how many dollars? $1. $1.23. Remember, whenever you have dimes and pennies, that's tens and ones. That's easy, tens and ones, dimes and pennies. If it's nickels, well, you can't do it that way. You got to count by fives, right? Nickels are different. You have to count by fives. Okay, moving on to our review, Chapter 10 review. Let's see how much you remember. See if you can do number 1 by yourself. Go ahead. Pause your video. Pause it this time because this will take you a while, okay? No, it won't take you that long, but pause it anyway and do this one, okay? Okay, did you do it? Okay, important thing. What were they asking you to make? Were they asking you to make a bar graph? No, you can't make a bar graph because there's no lines. It doesn't say how many. No, not a bar graph. How about a picture graph? No, I don't see a key telling us what picture to use. Let me read it. Hara asked her friends to choose their favorite yogurt flavor. Use that data to make a tally chart. Did you make a tally chart? I hope so. Favorite yogurt flavors. Ah, so they got to pick their favorite flavor. Here's the yogurt and here's the tallies. Peach, durazno, berry, lime is limon verde, and vanilla. Vanilla, you know vanilla, right? That's the most common one. Okay, here we go. We look at our chart over here. Peach, three friends picked Peach. So what is she going to do? Peach, 1, 2, 3. Did you do that? Simple. Berry, 5. Remember, when you do a 5, you cross it, right? Lime, you got 2 friends. And vanilla, you got 7. So I'm going to do a 5 and a 6, 7. Pretty simple, huh? Pretty simple job. Okay, let's go on then. Number 2. Does the sentence describe the data in the tally chart above? Choose yes or no. Okay? Well, you got to read it and see if it describes what's in here. Go ahead, try that one. See if you can read it and answer yes or no. You can pause it again. Pause it. Okay. Let's try it. 7 friends chose berry and peach together. So, how many chose either berry or peach? Well, let's look. Here's berry. How many was berry? 5. And how many was peach? 3. So, altogether, how many chose berry or peach? 5 and a 3 is what? 8. It says 7. That's a no. How about number 2? More friends chose peach than lime. More was peach than lime. 3 was peach, lime was 2. Is that more? Is 3 more than 2? Yes. 1 more, right? 1 more. 3 is 1 more than 2. Hold on. More friends chose vanilla than any other flavor. Did vanilla get the most? Yes, it beat berry by 2. See, it's got 2 more than berry. Yes, that was true. Vanilla had the most. Okay, let's read this one. Hara, last one, here we go. Hara asked 5 more friends to choose their favorite flavor. 3 friends, let me cover this up so nobody comes on at the end and tries to copy. Hara asked 5 more friends to choose their favorite flavor. 3 friends chose berry and 2 friends chose lime. Do more friends like berry or vanilla now? Explain. Okay, so she got 5 more. 3 chose berry and 2 chose lime. So we're going to look at berry. Lime, 2 more. Lime went up from 2, is going to go up to 4. That doesn't matter. They're asking us about berry and vanilla. Now, vanilla has 7, but 3 more came to berry. Berry had 5. If it gets 3 more, how many will berry have? If berry gets 3 more, she's going to have 8. Is berry going to have more than vanilla? Yes. Do more friends like berry or vanilla? No. More friends like, catch up to me, guys. More friends like Barry. Now, I'm going to start covering up my answers so people don't just look and copy. You've got to do it with me, not after me. Remember why we go to school. Why do we go to school? To learn, not because we have to and teacher's gonna check to see if we did it. No, you're there to learn so you can get a good job when you grow up and you can support your family, right? More friends like Barry now, because if you can't fit it in, go to the next line. I can barely fit it. Because 5 plus 3 equals 8. Don't put a period, put a comma. And more friends like Barry now because 5 plus 3 equals 8. And vanilla, vanilla still, todavía, or ya, still has, what does vanilla still have? 7. Okay. So we finished, we started our review of chapter 10. We're finishing our data chapter. I like this chapter. It's one of my favorite chapters, okay, because you have to do a lot of looking and thinking, okay? A lot of you had trouble on it, though, because you didn't like the thinking part. You also have to listen to what they're saying and understand what they're saying and what they're asking, and then you can find it in the charts and the graphs. We did 3 different kinds of charts in this chapter. We did tally charts and picture graphs and then bar graphs, right? In 3rd grade, you'll be doing even more types of charts. You'll do line plots. Those are kind of fun. Anyway, that's it. Tomorrow we'll probably finish our review and test, and then soon we'll be starting a new chapter, chapter 11, the last chapter in the book. But remember, we got to go back and finish those ones we skipped about measuring. I don't like those so much. Anyway, that's it for now. I will see you tomorrow. Good job, guys. Bye.